Earth is a dynamic planet with various types of storms. From short thunderstorms to intense hurricanes. From tropical storms forming over the sea to desert dust storms or polar snowstorms. If storms frequently occur on Earth, have you ever wondered whether they exist on other planets in the solar system? In fact, many spacecraft have recorded evidence of extraterrestrial storms. You've probably heard about dust storms on Mars or the Great Red Spot. The giant storm that has existed on Jupiter for over 300 years, and many other extreme weather phenomena occurring on planets in the solar system. This video, let Are you ready, everyone? Let's begin. A storm is a state of atmospheric disturbance and a form of extreme weather. In Vietnam, storms are commonly understood as tropical storms. This is an especially dangerous weather phenomenon, occurring only in tropical seas, often accompanied by strong winds and heavy rain. However, storms also include thunderstorms and other rare weather phenomena like snowstorms, sandstorms, dust storms, tornadoes, etc. Interestingly, storms don't only occur on Earth, but can also appear on any other planet in the solar system, as long as there is sufficient atmosphere there. Now, let's review storms on various planets. First, Mercury. What do you think about a small meteor shower to start your day? That's quite interesting, ISN. Mercury is the smallest planet and closest to the Sun in the solar system. This planet is very hot, with daytime temperatures around 430 degrees Celsius, enough to melt lead metal. Due to weak gravity, only about 38% of Earth's Mercury struggles to maintain an atmosphere. No atmosphere means the planet doesn't have violent storms. But it does have another strange type of weather. Mercury is frequently bombarded by small meteoroids, often in the morning, creating meteor showers there. Additionally, Mercury has magnetic tornadoes, twisted bundles of magnetic field connecting the planet's magnetic field to space. As Mercury Messenger spacecraft encountered Mercury during its second flyby on October 6, 2008. The tornado was up to 800 kilometers wide, equivalent to 1/3 of the planet's radius. These twisted magnetic flux tubes are called flux transfer events. They create open windows in the planet's magnetic shield, through which solar wind can enter and directly impact Mercury's surface. Second, Venus. Venus is often called Earth's twin planet, because the two planets have similar size and structure. But Venus is much hotter than our planet. In fact, it's the hottest planet in the solar system. Temperatures here can reach 900 degrees Fahrenheit, or 480 degrees Celsius, meaning it's even hotter than Mercury, the planet closest to the Sun in the solar system. Venus has a dense and suffocating atmosphere, mainly carbon dioxide, a small amount of nitrogen, and traces of other substances. It's this carbon dioxide-rich atmosphere that causes Venus to have a runaway greenhouse effect, leading to hellish temperatures. The extreme greenhouse effect caused the planet's water to completely evaporate into space. So Venus does not have rain like on Earth. However, much evidence shows that Venus has lightning. The Soviet-made Venera probe detected the first traces of lightning on Venus. For many years after that, the existence of lightning on Venus became a topic of much controversy in the scientific community. In 2006, the European Space Agency's Venus Express orbiter detected electrical discharges. when the spacecraft was orbiting near the upper atmosphere of Venus, showing the clearest evidence of lightning. Accordingly, the speed of lightning on Venus is at least half that on Earth. The origin of these lightning bolts is unclear, but they may originate from clouds or volcanoes on Venus. This is definitely not an ideal place for a vacation. You are surely no longer unfamiliar with storms on Earth. Our planet has many storms, including thunderstorms, snowstorms, dust storms, and tornadoes. Among them, tornadoes can carry wind speeds of over 480 kilometers per hour and cause severe local damage. More terrifying are hurricanes, which form in tropical regions. These hurricanes can last for many days with wind speeds that can start up to 1,100 kilometers. But no storm compares to hurricanes in scale and destructive power. Hurricanes, also known as tropical storms or cyclones, can last for many days, with strong winds spreading up to 1,100 kilometers. They can devastate coastal areas and cause damage deep inland. 4. Mars. Mars is known to have a thin atmosphere, mainly carbon dioxide. The planet stands out with its characteristic orange-red color, due to the abundance of iron oxide on its surface. Mars is famous for its fierce dust storms, sometimes large enough to be visible with telescopes on Earth. Dust storms on Mars are moderate in size, covering an area the size of a continent and lasting for several weeks. Every 3 Martian years, equivalent to 5.5 Earth years, Mars experiences a global dust storm that envelops the entire planet. NASA has observed global dust storms in the years 1971, 1977, 1982, 1994, 2001, 2007, and 2018. Science fiction films often exaggerate dust storms on Mars as being able to tear an antenna off equipment, partially destroying an astronaut's camp. However, the truth is that they do not have such terrible destructive power. The strongest wind speed in a Martian dust storm reaches about 60 miles per hour, or 100 kilometers per hour, less than half the wind speed of strong storms on Earth. Atmosphere is very thin, only 1% of Earth. That means, to lift an axe on Mars, the wind would need to blow much faster than on Earth to get the axe airborne. Nevertheless, dust storms on Mars are no joke. In 2018, a global dust storm completely covered NASA's Opportunity rover, ending the mission after 15 years on the surface. By 2022, dust continued to be the reason NASA's InSight spacecraft ceased operations. The 2 solar panels of InSight were covered with dust, causing the spacecraft to run out of fuel. Dust will also be a problem for future missions to Mars. It can affect electronic and mechanical systems, as well as the health of astronauts. Although best known for dust storms, Mars also has storms similar to tornadoes and polar vortices on Earth. In 1999, a rare storm 1,800 kilometers in diameter was detected by the Hubble Space Telescope in the northern polar region of Mars. It consisted of 3 cloud bands surrounding a giant storm eye, 320 kilometers in diameter, containing features similar to storms detected at Earth's poles. The storm only existed and was photographed for about 6 hours before disappearing. After many years of research, NASA determined that each winter a polar vortex forms above the atmosphere at Mars' North Pole. To date, the stability of this polar vortex is still being studied, and scientists believe dust may play a role in their formation. 5. Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. It is a gas giant with 90% of its volume being hydrogen and the remaining 10% helium. The gas giant is a paradise for storms. Jupiter's atmosphere is lined with hundreds of storm vortices of various sizes. The Voyager and Cassini spacecraft discovered a secret.
Up to 90% of storm vortices on Jupiter are anticyclonic, meaning they rotate in the opposite direction to the planet's rotation.
Some have combined with each other, forming larger storm vortices. The most prominent among these is the Great Red Spot.
This giant storm has existed for at least 350 years on Jupiter.
The Great Red Spot is a storm located at 22 degrees south of Jupiter's equator.
It is the most recognizable feature on the planet due to its distinctive orange color.
This storm was discovered in 1831, but it likely existed for at least 350 years. Wind speeds here reach up to 432 kilometers per hour, stronger than any storm ever measured on Earth. It rotates counterclockwise with a period of about 6 days.
The maximum height of the storm is approximately 8 kilometers.
This is the largest storm outside of Earth that we know of. Since its discovery, the Great Red Spot has held many mysteries. However, scientists have noticed that the storm's size is shrinking.
At the end of the 19th century, the Great Red Spot was about 41,000 kilometers in size, more than 3 times Earth's diameter.
But when Voyager 1 and 2 flew by in 1979, they measured the storm to be only twice Earth's diameter. Current measurements from modern telescopes show the storm is now only about 1.3 times Earth's size. This indicates the storm is gradually contracting over time. It is very likely that the Great Red Spot will eventually disappear, though no one knows when.
Saturn is also a paradise for storm chasers.
1 year on this planet is equivalent to 28 years on Earth. Saturn has terrifying superstorms
that can encircle the entire planet and last for months.
They are called Great White Spots, appearing about every 20 to 30 years in the Northern Hemisphere. They expand to several thousand kilometers, can even chase themselves and fade as they encircle the planet. Great white spots last for several months but can affect the planet's atmosphere and temperature up to 3 years after dissipating. Storm chasers would reap significant rewards by going to Saturn's South Pole, where most storms occur in a region called the Storm Alley. Storm Alley is located at 35 degrees south of the equator, and scientists are still unclear why storms form so frequently here. In October 2006, the Cassini-Huygens spacecraft photographed a storm with a clear eye at Saturn's South Pole. It was 8,000 kilometers wide with an eye 70 kilometers high. Wind speeds were 550 kilometers per hour and it appeared stationary at the South Pole. Saturn holds the record for the longest continuous storm in the solar system, observed by Cassini in 2009, lasting over 8 months. Instruments on Cassini detected strong radio waves from lightning in Saturn's atmosphere. These waves are about 10,000 times stronger than waves from lightning on Earth.
The Great White Spot at the North Pole or Storm Alley at the South Pole attracts scientists studying storms.
But Saturn has another mystery, a hexagonal cloud pattern at the North Pole.
The hexagon is a 6-sided jet stream, each side about 14,500 kilometers long. The entire structure rotates with wind speeds of 322 kilometers per hour.
At the center of the hexagon is something like a cosmic whirlwind, but it is actually a giant vortex similar to a storm. Storms can last for many years, so there is no need to rush to observe them. In 2010 and 2011, Scientists witnessed a storm moving around Saturn until it crashed into its tail and exploded. Uranus has long been thought to have a calm atmosphere due to no observed storms. But recently, astronomers have begun to see more storm activity on this planet. However, data on Uranus is limited because it is too far and difficult to observe regularly. When Voyager 2 flew by in 1986, it detected a few clouds, partly due to the thick haze surrounding the planet. As well as Voyager 2's camera is not being designed to see through the haze with infrared light. Scientists are trying to decipher the composition of the clouds on this giant ice planet. Hubble telescope captured an image of a large, bright, and wide storm cloud at Uranus. It is believed that the clouds on Uranus are composed of hydrogen sulfide, a gas that smells like rotten eggs. Neptune is the windiest planet in the solar system. Wind blows frozen methane clouds across this ice planet at speeds of 2,000 kilometers per hour, about 9 times faster than winds on Earth. Neptune also has a large storm system. In 1989, NASA's Voyager 2 detected 2 giant storms on Neptune as it flew by the planet. Scientists named these storms the Great Dark Spot and the Small Dark Spot. The Great Dark Spot is the size of Earth with the highest wind speeds in the solar system at about 2,400 kilometers per hour, and orbits the planet every 18.3 hours. The Small Dark Spot is a storm located about 30 degrees south, orbiting the planet every 16.1 hours. Hubble Space Telescope captured images of Neptune from its position in Earth. Scientists hope to observe these storms again. However, both have disappeared. Scientists now believe that new storms appear on Neptune every 4 to 6 years, and typically last up to 6 years. Among these storms, which one impressed you the most? Please share your opinion in the video's comments section. Don't forget to subscribe to the Oddity Odyssey channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't. Hello and see you in the next videos. Best regards, goodbye.